Earlier this year, PMI released a blog post talking about NFPA 2500, what it is, what it might mean to you, and how to use it. If you want to review that information, you can find it at our website at pmirope.com or on our YouTube channel. One of the things we talked about in that post was the release date of the new NFPA 2500 document, which was actually released in 2021, even though the effective date was stated as 2022. And we talked about just how long it might be before you actually see gear being marked to that new standard. Well, today I'm here to let you know about an important update to NFPA 2500. Yes, already. It hasn't even really been fully integrated into the industry yet, and it's already been updated. But if you haven't reviewed the original post on that document, you might want to check that out first. I'm Loui McCurley, and I'm one of more than 30 people who are part of that NFPA Special Operations Protective Clothing and Equipment Committee. We oversee together the NFPA 2500 document. The people who sit on that committee are not just manufacturers. They're also test laboratories, firefighters, rescuers, trainers, all sorts of industry folks. And there's a requirement in the NFPA standards process that prevents any one interest group from becoming a majority. So contrary to what some people might think, this standard and other standards are actually not written by and for manufacturers. Now, as a reminder, this particular document, NFPA 2500, combines what used to be three separate documents: NFPA 1983, which was equipment-focused; NFPA 1858, which provided selection, use, and care information; and NFPA 1670, which outlines team competency for technical rescue. That consolidated NFPA 2500 standard now actually contains the substance of all three of those documents. Now, this is important because if you're a fire department, you might be accustomed to looking for markings on your equipment that say NFPA 1983, along with some year reference. But pretty soon, the equipment you're used to seeing with these markings is going to be marked with NFPA 2500. And then 1983, which is the old standard number, that'll be in parentheses. And then the effective year, in this case 2022, will follow that. Now, this standard is updated once every 5 years, so it's going to be a while before the effective date is changed. But here's where the new information comes in. In our previous post, we talked about the fact that the standard was released in 2021 with a 2022 effective date. And we talked about how manufacturers were given a deadline of September 2022, that's this month, to get all of our gear retested and remarked to the new standard. But here's the thing. Earlier this year, NFPA released something called a Tentative Interim Amendment, or TIA for short. And that TIA extended the deadline for an additional 6 months due to some administrative delays. So, as odd as it might seem, marking to the new NFPA 2500 1983-2022 standard, which was released all the way back in 2021, is actually not required until early 2023. Now, there's no limit on when you have to stop buying or using equipment that's marked to the old standard. In fact, most of the provisions and requirements for equipment testing haven't really changed much. There's no NFPA police, there's no particular hazards or concerns associated with continuing to use gear marked to a previous version of the NFPA standards. It's not an attempt by manufacturers to get you to buy all new gear. It's just the only rule from NFPA is that as of spring 2023, manufacturers have to stop selling equipment marked to the old 2017 edition of 1983. That's all I've got for now. Stay vertical and keep on climbing with PMI.